I'm Alisa Bularan, 24 years old, from the Philippines. So, I finished Bachelor in Broadcast Communication at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines last 2015. And I currently work at GMA Network. I am a news script producer, or in layman's term, a news writer for 24 Horas, or 24 hours in English. And this is the flagship evening newscast of GMA Network, one of the biggest TV networks in the Philippines. So, in my job as a news writer, we write the script for the anchors to read in the prompter. So, like the lead-ins, to introduce the stories by a reporter. So, that is one of our job. But as a producer, we also produce those stories in a way that we are partnered with those reporters to complete their stories in the from the field to the base. So they will send out their scripts and then their materials, and we are the ones who is going to edit here in the base, and to also complete the other elements of the story. We will also help them. And so we're partners with the reporters. We are a tag team. And then also we also write other stories that in aid of the newscast. So we are also like reporters. It's just that we don't go out in the field. We just write stories that is given to us in the desk, that the information that we receive that is verified, and to all the materials that we receive. So we write it in a way like what reporters do. It's just that we don't go outside, we don't go in the field, we're just in the base. What I like most about my job is that we get to write and air stories every day, which is the most fulfilling part of this job. So in my part, every day, you get to, change lives of people in a way that you inform them. Like what I always think, that you get to inform people that there is another people more informed than they were yesterday or just a minute ago before watching the news. So that's the fulfilling part for me. I don't want to think about how they felt or if they agree or not. At least they are informed. So how they feel about it is, it's up to them. The memorable part of my job is that um, the positive side is that it's fulfilling, but there are also sacrifices that we have to make. We don't have holidays, and yeah, something like that. We get to spend Christmas or New Year's or holidays in the newsroom. And one of the thing that I can't forget is during the election, because we bring the news every day about the election, and then during the election season we brought out the results, but also as a voter, so you get to vote, then you also give people news. So it's a very fulfilling job. And also one of the memorable part is that during disasters or storms, when there are class suspensions or work suspensions all around, and here we are, we're still gearing ourselves to go to the office to break the news. Like recently, we had a very, very minor earthquake in Metro Manila, and all the people in our building have evacuated, but we newsroom people are still there, and we don't have any plans of getting out because we're still thinking of how to break the news. We have to contact the weather agency and everything to break the news. You have to get videos. You have to remain calm, because we still have our job to do, and that's to inform the people, and of course to let them know and make sure that they will be safe, to avoid, what to avoid, and to remind them of what to do during this time. So do not panic and everything. So we have to apply it. So you really don't have time for your personal emotions to get in the way of your job. Something like that. So it's part of our job. Is the everyday pressure, because we air live every day, and we have to make sure that all the big stories that we covered will be aired on the same day. And also the pressure because there is a competition for the other network. So we have to be, if we can't keep up, we have to lead in the race and something like that. And also we have to get good stories. So that's the challenges every day, that we don't miss out on the big stories and even the small stories, because sometimes those small stories that can be relevant in the future. So it's a big boo-boo if we also miss those small details that we shouldn't. We overcome it, like what my bosses always advise me to do, is we have to manage our time. You know, we have to have our internal deadlines to ourselves to finish a task, because as a new script producer, we're just not assigned with one stories. We have at least 4 to 5 stories, so that means 4 to 5 reporters. And then we also have our individual assignments. We also have our own stories to write. So we have to really manage everything and to make sure that everything will go on air on the evening on our appointed time and appointed take on where it should air during that part of the show. So for the aspiring journalist, I've learned this during my internship, radio internship in my last years of college. My boss told me that if I'm really serious about going to media, I have to forget myself, because there will be no holidays, no vacations, and I can't even spend my birthday. You know, I experienced that. I celebrated my birthday in the newsroom. And yeah, they're really sacrifices. So you really have to make sure that you want to do this, and you have to really be passionate. You have to be passionate to wait for the opportunity. You have to be passionate to apply and to enter, and also to have the enough passion to stay after experiencing all those stress and hardships and many challenges. You really have to be passionate. So passionate, passionate, because you know, some people say that passion cannot feed you or your family, but you know, as you grow up, you know, you will figure it out. But for me, if as an aspiring journalist, you have to be really passionate and sure that you really want to do this, that you really want to change the world and tell stories, and you have to prepare yourself that this won't be an easy journey. And well, you know, all those challenges that you will face will be worth it, and it will help you. It will be stepping stones for you to be successful. And then also, yeah, so there will be no holidays, you'll miss some family gatherings. So you have to accept that. But there should be compromise, there should be balance, of course. But yeah, it's part of your job to miss all those. All for the service of the people. Serbisyong totoo, as our motto. It's our true service for the people. And one thing that I can advise is that you have to be strong. Not just passionate, but also strong physically, because it's very tiring. You have to take care of yourself, your health. As we said, you have to be strong. Even your internal organs have to be strong, because sometimes you have to have strong bladders, because sometimes you can stand up, you have to finish all those tasks. And then strong heart, because some stories are very heart-wrenching, it's very heartbreaking. And strong brain mentally, because some information are very hard to digest. You have to be strong. And emotionally, because sometimes when stress takes over, and some people can become mean sometimes, and you have to think, and you have to tell yourself, and don't take everything personally, that it's just part of the job. So you have to be strong, physically, emotionally, mentally, and most of all spiritually. You have to have strong faith, because your strength alone cannot be enough. You have to have support from God. It's very hard to survive by alone. It's, you know, I'm here, it's all because of God's grace. I cannot imagine myself how went far. I don't know if I even went far for my 4 years. I know I have a long way to go, but it's all credit to God who helped me to come here and stay here. So I hope for all aspiring journalists that, we all have our own stories to make, and there are lots of stories around there that has to be told. So it's a very, very fun job. Fun, fulfilling, it's even stressful. But what's more prevailing feeling is the fulfillment. To serve the people. Yeah. And to do what you love. So, also, my advice is to have a strong support system like your family and your friends who understands your job very well. I'm very thankful that I have a understanding family that sometimes if I have to miss out the family gatherings, they'll bring the gathering to me, they'll put the venue near my office just like my friends. And if I can come, they understand because they know my work. So, a strong support system is a very great help. So, that's it. And also, you know, be be aware of your surroundings. It's very important as a journalist. You have to be very observant. So, because what's happening can be a news story, and also you have to have knowledge of also everything. General knowledge from politics to business, showbiz, crimes, and everything. So, yeah, you have to be all-knowing. You have your general information and knowledge is very can come very handy in this job. So, good luck to all aspiring journalists. I let's make a world a better place, at least for our little jobs, no?